Welcome to the 1204. I have seen Tariq Nasheed on so many occasions argue with the so called Teva. A Teva, according to Tariq Nasheed, is a black person who is not a foundational black American. Basically, a foundational black American is what people outside of America would refer to as a African American. But these people don't want to be referred to as a African American. So Tariq has come up with the new term, Foundational Black American, FBA. So if you are black and you are not a FBA, then you are a Teva. It's very interesting listening to Tariq argue with what he refers to as a Teva. Tariq could argue with a Nigerian Teva. He could argue with 10 Nigerian Tevas. And guess what? It's as if he is talking to all of them at once. Even though he has argued with them one by one, it sounds like he's talking to the same person because he has a script. And that script is, you Nigerians, you stink, you're musty, and you eat bushmeat. And not to mention as well the flies going into one ear and coming out the other ear. Tariq loves a bit of the fly jokes. And when he's talking to a Teva that's Nigerian, he will make jokes about bami or jerk chicken or oxtail. And he will say that to 10 Jamaicans if he argued with 10 Jamaican Tevas. So he has a script for the Jamaican Teva or the Caribbean Teva. And he has a script for the African Teva. But one thing's in common. There might be different insults, but they both share something in common. Whether you are a Caribbean Teva or you are a African Teva. Tariq accuses these people of fleeing their homelands. You guys could not get it popping in your country, in your homeland. So you came over here to try to blend in with us, the FBA. You fled your homeland. Us FBA, we don't flee, we stand and we fight. Hmm. That is a very, very ridiculous statement. Because whenever I listen to these arguments involving Tariq Nasheed and a so called Teva, especially a Caribbean Teva, judging on the Teva's accent, it's more than likely that Teva was born in the United States of America. And if that is the case, how can you ask somebody why they fled a country they was not even born in? Most of them have only been to most of them most of them have only been to the Caribbean, probably twice in their life. Probably have not even been there at all. And you're accusing them of fleeing somewhere that they weren't even born in, that they never even lived. And the FBA fanatics on Tariq's page, they laugh it all up. Because that is the funniest thing ever, right? Because none of them is going to pull Tariq up on it. Maybe Tariq Nasheed doesn't know the definition of fleeing. Maybe the FBA don't know the definition of fleeing. Because I saw a so-called Teva get into an argument with Tariq Nasheed about fleeing. And he accused Assatta Shakur, aka Joanne Chesimard. I believe she's the auntie of Tupac Shakur. He accused her of fleeing, and Tariq defended her, claiming that she didn't flee. He even asked the Teva, what do you want her to do? You want her to stay here and get killed? Tariq, you plonker, this is what fleeing is. The actual definition of fleeing. Because Google's your friend. Believe it or not, I do have Google here, even if I am living in a smelly mud hut in Africa. Dictionary definition, flee. Run away from a place or situation of danger. And it gives an example. To escape the fighting, his family fled from their village. Run away from a place or situation of danger. Assatta Shakur, aka Joanne Chesimard. She ran away from a place or situation of danger. So she fled. She went to Cuba, where the Americans could not go and get her. Now, she definitely fought, but she did definitely flee. She fought and fled. I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem is Tariq Nasheed not only moving the goalposts, but moving the stadium. All through Tariq's career, he has made stupid statements. That has been used against him. Just an example. I have seen Tariq Nasheed lambaster black women for bedwenching, getting with a white man, telling her that her kids are not going to be black. But then he will tell you his wife is black, and his wife is also a half-breed, half-caste. This guy was on radio talking about how black women are not attractive. White women are better looking than black women. He was encouraging black men to go to Brazil and get themselves a non-black woman. But then when you bring that up, he tries to weasel his way out of it. This guy, he started the topic of fleeing. And all that Teva done, that Jamaican Teva done, was point out that this woman has also fled. So why do you still consider her an FBA? Because Tariq does not consider the Liberians FBA because he said that they left. You guys fled, you guys left. So my people don't flee. You guys are not black Americans. Sorry, FBA. So FBA don't flee. But this woman fled. And not only she fled, this woman has always referred to herself as an African. And Tariq won't even accept that. We're not making this up. We're not making this up. That is actually on YouTube, that video of her saying she's an African. And also, since we're on the topic of fleeing, Harriet Tubman also fled. I mean, we got to call a spade a spade. She fled. But I thought FBA don't flee. I'm sorry, I thought FBA don't flee. My people don't flee, he says. People flee all the time. And then he said, Assatta left the country to save her life. But Tevers are fleeing poverty. Tariq Nasheed, for a man that's well traveled, he is the most ignorant, well traveled man I've ever come across. Now, I'm going to use Nigeria as an example. Because I go to Nigeria like twice a year. I've got family in Nigeria. I've got properties there. Listen to what this idiot said. People in Nigeria are fleeing Nigeria to go to places like America or England to run away from poverty. Let me show you how ridiculous that statement is. If we're talking about real poverty in Nigeria, where people are actually hungry, where people's stomachs are swollen because there's no food, that type of hunger, those people could not even afford a fucking loaf of bread, let alone to get their asses on a plane and go to the Americas or go to the United Kingdom. What are you talking about? You do realize how hard it is to actually get a plane ticket. Because last time I checked, all those Nigerians, all those stinking, musty, bushmeat eating tethers you see in America, how did they get to America? They did not get to America on a banana boat. They did not get there on a box of oranges. They got there on a plane. You have to be somewhat middle class to be able to get hold of a passport in Nigeria, to afford to buy a plane ticket. That is not cheap. That is not cheap at all. People don't have that in petty cash. So for you to even leave a country like Nigeria to go to America, and I know, and trust me, America is much harder to get to than England. For you to be able to even get to America and to put your children in school in America, you have to be somewhat middle class in Nigeria to do that. So how are these people fleeing poverty if they're able to afford to get themselves on a plane to those countries? Because the people in those countries with a real poverty, like I said, they can't even afford a loaf of bread, let alone a passport. I have two passports. I've got a British passport and I've got a Nigerian passport. And anyone who's Nigerian descent or with a Nigerian passport, you know what I'm talking about. Nigeria is the most corrupt country in the world. Well, last time I checked, it was second, but I don't know how that country isn't number one corrupt country in the world. It's fucking corrupt. Look at the type of wahala. Look at the type of wahala that's involved where you need to go and renew your Nigerian passport. In the UK, my British passport that expires every 10 years. You take it down to the post office, you fill out a form, You pay about 60, 70 quid, and then you post it off, and then guess what? You get it back through the post within 14 days. Easy peasy. The Nigerian one, oh no. They want you to go into some kind of passport office. And that's when you see the corruption. You will have to pay out your nose. You pay that guy over there, you pay that guy over there, you pay that guy over there. It's not straightforward. You will be hustled by government officials who will hustle the fuck out of you. You need to have money to play with just to get a Nigerian passport. So how are these guys here ending up in places like America, which is harder to get to than England, if they're running away from poverty? That doesn't make any sense. And I know you guys know what I'm saying is making sense, but you're not going to accept it because you guys have this weird fanaticism towards Tariq Nasheed. You're too busy laughing at the stuff he's saying to actually realize that what he's saying is actually laughable. It's pathetic. I might make a separate video about what I'm about to say next. But you FBA guys are probably going to say, well, why not stay in your own country and sort out your country? Listen, if that person is middle class in Nigeria, due to the corruption and things like that, they know that they could hit a ceiling in Nigeria. But if you go to a country like the United Kingdom or the United States of America, you could surpass that ceiling. You can better yourself. If you've got money to get out of a place like that, why won't you get out of a place like that? Why not better yourself and better your families? Oh, so they should stay there and they should take care of they should stay there and they should get a pop in there? Is that what you're saying? Okay, so by that logic, yeah, why are rappers or black entertainers who you guys consider FBA, why is it that as soon as they get money, they leave those ghettos, they leave those hoods, and they actually move to areas where there's not many black people? What is it 50 Cent said to Black Child? Because Black Child was saying to 50 Cent that I'm in the hood because I'm real and I'm trying to make a difference or something like that. Black Child said to 50 Cent, I am in the hood because I'm real and I'm trying to make a difference. 50 Cent said, no. You're still in the hood because you're stuck. That is real talk. If Black Child had money, he wouldn't be in that area. You're not going to have that kind of money and not move out of that dump of a ghetto. So black Americans who are from the ghettos, they get a bit of money and they move to a different area. They move out the hood. And you guys call that progress. But a Nigerian in Nigeria puts some money together, gets on a plane to the United Kingdom or to the United States of America, and you guys call that fleeing. What are you guys talking about? See, Tariq is just a clown. This guy is only there to perform. And this guy is entertaining his idiotic fan base. And whilst they are giving him money, he is promising them, listen, we are actually going to get reparations. And I'll make another video about that because that is ridiculous. There is no way any of you Negroes are seeing a penny of that reparations. So whilst you guys are sitting down, laughing at this clown who has promised you guys reparations. But the only thing this guy is delivering is entertainment. And it's a very, very school playground, borderline juvenile entertainment. I mean, the other day, this guy had a meme insulting African hair. Think about that for a second. This guy was insulting African hair. And then I actually came and commented in that video and I said, you do realize that most of you people will have hair like that if it wasn't for the white man raping your female ancestors. I think Tariq Nasheed, I think these Coon Train awards he's handing out, I think he needs to take one of those Coon Trains and I think he needs to stick it where the sun don't shine. Peace.